Strict liability. Strict liability means the imputation to a subject of the risk generated by their activity, presuming guilty the action or omission generated the harmful event. Non contractual or acquiring liability has evolved toward a system that accepts quasi objective solutions as a consequence of the increase in dangerous activities and the principle that we who that the people who obtain a profit are the one who must compensate the damage caused on the third party. In this activity, objective or risky liability is configured as a mechanism that allows mitigating, like, although no exclude the requirement of the culpable element of extra contractual liability in such a way that the one who creates a risk, even if its action is lawful, must bear the consequences of the dangerous activity from which you benefit. A strict liability doesn't apply absolutely, but rather the scope of the risk theory as an instrument of attribution of responsibility is limited to those cases in which the risk exceeds the general risk typical or ordinary life activities. Consequently, the theory of risk is not applicable in those cases in which it is the exercise of a harmless activity totally devoid of danger. Strict liability requirements. The objective or risk liability does not eliminate the need to prove the concurrence of the essential requirements for the asset of extra contractual liability. These are the existence of an action or omission, the damage caused, and the causal link between the agent's conduct and the production of damage. But there's a reversal of the border of proof of the guilty element, presuming guilty any action or omission generating compensable damage. Here we have four specific cases. First, as its strict liability does not look at the subjective element of the agent's conduct that caused the damage. This implies that fault and or fraud are disregarded as elements of responsibility. Second, the person who seeks to repair damage must only prove its existence, and that's it. And that's, I mean, I'm sorry, and that it is attributable to the conduct of certain person. In this type of liability, the debtor cannot be exonerated from liability by proving that they acted with due prudence and diligence. To exonerate himself from liability, the defendant may allege the existence of an extraneous cause, except when the law expressly prohibits it. Product liability. Defective product lawsuits, also known as product liability cases, are based on a specialized branch of law that focus on whether the items that are placed in the business stream are safe. If a product did not include proper warning or instructions or was dangerous to the end user final customer, there could be a claim for damage. If something you bought hurt you, learn more about the law and how to hire a defective product attorney. liability for defective products. There may be multiple parties liable for placing defective products on the market in a product liability case, among others. The manufacturer of the product, the manufacturer of the defensive component of the product, those who installed or assembled the product, the distributor of the product, the retailer who sold the product. Types of product defects. To prove the product liability, there must be evidence that the product that caused the injury has a defect that is unexpected and unreasonably dangerous. There are three types of defects that could be considered in product injury cases. These are design defects, lack of warning, or manufacturing defects. Design defects. Even a perfectly made product can endanger the end user if the defect was part of its design. A product is unreasonably dangerous if it doesn't work as expected when used as intended. Some example of design defects could be a car that can accelerate on its own, a safety pistol that still allows a pistol to be fired, lack of warning, also called like marketing flaws. They focus on actions in the supply chain that, and I mean, the product was designed correctly but did not have the correct instructions or warning. This lack of guidance made the product unreasonable dangerous to intended customers. Some examples could be a child seat designed to hold on to a table that falls over if not installed properly, a medicine that causes vomiting if not taken with a glass of water, and manufacturing defects. Even if the product was designed to be safe, the final result did not reflect that design. If that product causes injuries to the intended user, the manufacturer can be held liable. Some examples could be the tire tread lines do not grip to the road properly, a faulty lock on a car door, a safety buckle on a car seat that doesn't lock in place.